These are all my thoughts and opinions based on information out in the public domain. Please do your own research, and we're here to talk about whatever topic you'd like to talk about. So you can always send me ideas about things. Can you see the guy surfing over there? Isn't that cool? You see that? Yeah, these are the beaches in Nicaragua. See, nobody around. Isn't that beautiful? It's ironic how Meghan Markle was spotted on Independence Day in Wyoming, but it wasn't her. I'll give you my thoughts in the video. You'll see that. And this lady is happy that they're royals there on Independence Day when the United States, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in 1776 the United States fought a war to get rid of them. And this is a woman who's using titles. And now the pictures are gone. I don't think it's her. Okay? Please share, like, and subscribe, and leave me your comments because I do read them. And thank you for all the donations. Beautiful people. Apologies for not making a video before. Hello, gorgeous people. I hope you're all doing fine. How tragic that Shinzo Abe was murdered. I think he was the longest serving prime minister in Japan. I'm not sure, but I think he was. But I don't know how that guy managed to get so close to him. I want to do this video because given the world situation, the worldwide situation after COVID, during COVID, how many people lost their homes, their jobs, everything, because they couldn't get to work. The economy was just pretty terrible. We had Harry and Meghan flying all over the place, private planes, obviously, because they are cleaning up the environment and helping up the environment one private plane at a time. They've engaged in basically slandering everybody instead of, they talk a lot about positivity and all they do is slander everybody and they lie about things. Now, it is my firm belief that there's a spin on the press about, the palace braces for another Harry and Meghan. No, they're not. Their only concern is that Harry keeps lying, so his reputation keeps going down, and they want to protect him at all costs. These are all my thoughts and opinions, by the way. Because as the world now knows, they lie constantly, repeatedly. So now we have Harry and Meghan, because yes, Harry and Meghan are suing not only the government, but now they're initiating apparently a lawsuit against staff, especially the Queen's private secretary, because Harry deems that he shouldn't have been sitting down and the committee that decided that he was not to have any security, tax-funded security. Of course he should have. They did the same when Beatrice and Eugenie lost protection, and they were 5th and 6th in line to the throne. So one of them was even higher up than Harry in the direct line of descent. So that particular argument that he's making falls flat because it's already been done. And Prince Andrew fought it really hard because he said, I'm in direct line of descendant. All people related to the Queen are in direct line of descendant. And actually he's not. The direct line is George, Prince George, Prince Louis, and Princess Charlotte. Beatrice and Eugenie are also direct line. I mean, he is that much of a moron, but it is my true belief that Meghan has put that forth more. Oh, you're worth this, you're worth that, because that's what narcissistic people do. They build you up and then they tear you down. They make you believe you're the greatest when you're not, especially Harry, who's thick and an idiot, but he's arrogant and entitled. And this is what happens when somebody who's arrogant and entitled has a little bit of power, or at least somebody backing him, because there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that he's being backed by Buckingham Palace. They could have ended this a long time ago by completely cutting him and removing him from everything that has to do with the monarchy. Remove his name and his skanky wife's name from the monarchy's website. That is not a family website. That is an institution website that represents the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth, that is supposed to feature people who are working for them. So and then they allow him to rent Frogmore Cottage. He shouldn't be allowed because he's not even living there. But this is the problem that we have. So now Harry, and guess what I don't understand is why this hasn't even been thrown out immediately. Why hasn't he been declared vexatious litigant? That way he can't bring any lawsuits anymore, or at least it'll be pretty difficult, because he keeps suing people right, left, and center, and so does Meghan. Now, Meghan was allowed to get away with perjury. But the point that I want to make here is that guess who's paying for the lawyers who are going to be representing the government and the staff that Harry's now suing? And by the way, most likely this is the same staff that Meghan bullied and Harry, allegedly. So not only were they bullied, harassed, and abused, allegedly, while Meghan Markle and Harry were working royals, because there seemed to have been pretty high tensions, and I can imagine that's because of the terrible abuse that was going on. But also, now this staff has to continue the ongoing bullying and slandering to their good reputation, their good name and reputation. Because Harry and Meghan, when you quit a job or when you walk out of a job, you're usually sued or kicked, you're usually sued. When you walk out of a job the way they did, they should have been sued. They shouldn't have been given 1 year to think it over. I don't know why that was. Can you imagine any of us walking out of a job? And then I said, oh, you know what? You walked out of the job. You walked out of all the responsibilities. You're slandering the shit out of us. But we're going to give you a year to think it off. And we're going to keep you on their website so you have credibility. It gives you cachet for whatever it is you do. And not only that, but we're going to give you almost $3 million for you to settle down somewhere. Does any of this make any sense to you? Of course not. And this is why I've been talking about ambiguity, about letting them get away with things. Because people who are abusive, they push and they push to see how far they can get away with things. Now, many of you have asked me what I think about Meghan being in Wyoming. This is just, let me tell you what I think. This is just like the two pictures, one of Lilibet and the one with Meghan holding that child next to this other woman. Clearly, those two pictures were not taken at the same time. There is no way, unless it was heavily photoshopped. Because you can see, and people have said, well, maybe she got lipo, maybe within a month you lose a lot of weight. Let me tell you something. Meghan has a very short waist, trunk. She doesn't have an elongated trunk. You cannot lose 30 pounds in 1 month, no matter. I was anorexic, and I can tell you that no matter how hard I tried, and I tried very hard to lose as much, I went down to 82 pounds, and I'm 5'7". I went down, but it took me a while. The most I lost, it was about 10 pounds a month at the most. And this was me starving myself like crazy and running around like crazy, exercising like crazy because, I could. So for people to say that is Meghan, it could be Meghan, but not the 4th of July right now. I don't buy it because unless they Photoshop the hell out of it. I've been posting pictures and stuff like that. And now it's funny. People say, oh, there would have been dozens of people taking pictures. And my answer to you is no. Because nobody in the States knows who they are. Harry and Meghan can walk anywhere and they're not recognized. Paps are not following them. Now, why would anybody be, given the fact of how much you saw Meghan Markle going to Uvalde, you saw how much security she has. Do you think that she would be allowed, that whoever took the picture would be allowed to be up that close? Now, let me tell you something. The closer you are to, because I also do photography, the closer you are to a person, to the subject that you're taking a picture of, the thicker or the bigger the object looks. So, and that person who took that picture of this woman who she claims is Meghan Markle was pretty close. We're looking at 6 feet because you can see the two guys standing there. So that means that woman, and don't forget that cameras, pictures add weight. So that means that that woman was, that shot was taken pretty up close. So that means, can you imagine if that had been a gun? Somebody would have been able to aim a gun at Meghan Markle and shot her. Where was her security? Because this woman doesn't go anywhere without security. So that means that somebody is right behind her bodyguards, and her bodyguards are all relaxed. You know what I mean? Allowing them to for this person to take the shot of this woman squatting down with a child. Now, I'm sorry to tell you, but that child could be anybody's child. People are saying, oh, this is that Harry's somewhere in Wyoming. I think he went sometime because he was doing something. It could be anywhere. The whole point of it all is that all the lies, they have been allowed to get away with so many lies. They have been allowed to get away with putting children in the line of succession without the proper documentation. Can you imagine anybody? This is as serious as somebody getting U.S. citizenship or any citizenship without a birth certificate, without any proof of anything. You wouldn't be able to do that. And that's the same thing for the line of succession. Yet, and it has to be made public. Any child or any person put in the line of succession, their documents of birth and proof of birth that the children came out according to the rules, has to be made public. To this date, it hasn't been made public. To this date, I have sent Pidina, Bookworm, we have sent repeated requests with the information provided by Buckingham Palace about the birth of that child in California, and there are no records that exist. If the records had been sealed, we would have gotten a response saying that something like, the records, we cannot provide the record because on the judge's orders, these records are sealed. No, we get that there's no child with those details born on that date, period. So now we have Harry, and guess who is carrying the burden of all of these two possible lawsuits? It's the UK taxpayers. And not only that, this is a man who continues to slander. And the problem is that, I remember hostage negotiations they have. If you give a mouse a cookie, he will want milk. And then after you give him the milk, he wants another cookie. And then he wants, of course, milk. And it's an endless cycle. You do not negotiate with terrorists, which is, in my opinion, what Harry and Meghan Markle are. Especially Meghan Markle, because she's feeding ideas into this idiot who has a huge chip on his shoulder because he wants to have heir privileges without the heir duties, like Prince William does. He played polo with this Nacho guy. What did he do? He did nothing. And here we have Meghan Markle going around, or somebody saying, oh, this is Meghan Markle. And then the pictures get taken down. It's enough. It's enough. Now, it's funny, whoever this lady was posting that she doesn't understand the irony that she's celebrating having royals there on Independence Day when the United States fought a war and many people died. To be rid of them, especially people like Meghan Markle, because Meghan Markle would be a tyrant. So, I want to say something a little bit about Mr. Markle and that Carl Larson guy. Many of you have written to me that Carl Larson, he just happened to live by Santa Barbara, and it was that easy to get into the polo field and take pictures of Meghan Markle. I have a friend who was there at the polo field, and she told me that yes, and you can buy a ticket, that the tickets are not that cheap, but to get close to her, she had a huge thing of bodyguards around her, and that they handpicked 2 people to take pictures of her up close. So I'm not saying anything about Carl Larson, but you make your own conclusions about that. He's not that naive, he's not that innocent, and he did take the pictures up close of Meghan Markle, and we all know how closely she guards her image and who she allows to take the pictures. Yes, it didn't say Bagrid, but I'm pretty sure that a deal could have been made with Carl Larson to get some money from him, when the pictures were released. What do you beautiful people think? Please leave me your comments. And again, thank you for joining me, this crazy Canadian Latin woman. Have a great day.